What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Body Slam, BodySlamNet's weekly podcast featuring myself, Cassidy Haynes, owner, founder, and one of the scoopsters here at BodySlam.net. And I'm joined, as always, by my man Cory Hays, another one of our insiders here at BodySlam.net, who has been bringing us lots of exclusive news to our Patreon, which we're about 2 weeks into that, and you can sign up and join our Patreon at the link down below. That way you can get all of our exclusive news there first before you see it anywhere else, before it gets picked up and aggregated or winds up on the website. Join the Patreon down there so you can get that first. We also have exclusive interviews coming that'll be there before you can find them anywhere else. And we're working on some exclusive content that'll be just for the Patreon. So make sure if you haven't yet, check that out. It'll be worth the money, I hope, for everybody. I think so anyway. Yeah, but not only that, make sure you follow us, Body Slam, on everything. If you're watching us on Twitch, Cory's Twitch, because we're on Cory's Twitch, make sure you jump on over to the Body Slam net Twitch. That's twitch.tv/BodySlamNet.
Yeah, go and follow the Body Slam Twitch for me.
Yeah, give the Body Slam Twitch a follow if you can. If you're not on Twitch, I understand. Maybe you're watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a follow there. Like the video, thumbs it up, leave some comments, join in on the conversation. We'd love to talk to you guys. And if you're on YouTube, send in your super chats. If you do super chats, it'll guarantee that we bring up whatever you sent us, and we will talk about it on the show and answer any questions as best we can. That's a way to guarantee that we acknowledge your comment and talk to you. But we try to get to a lot of them. But, that way you jump the line and you get guaranteed a spot. Or let's why don't you just dive into some wrestling news this week? Let's maybe pull up the Patreon here. This week on the Patreon, Cory, first of all, let me pull up the first thing
since we were there since our last show on Thursday, let's go to the Patreon.
What was the beginning of the week? That would be me with the well, that was at my so I think the first one. Wait, no,
we talked about Akira last week.
The WWID talent was the first one for NXT, right?
No, because since last Thursday,
I know. So I'm looking at the stuff this week.
I
guess so. June 19th. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I got you.
We talked about that. The first thing was yours.
Phantasmo. Yeah, okay.
You talking about ELP and what's going on with him.
So I dropped the first exclusive I put this week on the Patreon, which you could have seen if you'd been there 5 days ago, was I gave an update because ELP was pulled from last weekend's New Japan shows, but they didn't really give an explanation as to why. I believe it was an injury, and I confirmed that it was an injury and what the injury actually was. El Phantasmo suffered a small MCL tear. It won't require any surgery. He was taking some time off to recover, and it's day-to-day basis. And he hopes to be ready for the G1 and back by then. So, yeah, that was my report from the Patreon earlier this week. And then you saw it on the website a day or two later as well. And then
we had the collaborative one about the WWID with the Vanity Project.
Right. Why don't you go over that one?
Vanity Project filmed some content for NXT at Beyond Wrestling this past weekend on Sunday. They filmed some content over there. I'm assuming because NXT did a double taping on Tuesday. This past week on NXT, Ethan Page was calling the Vanity Project. So I'm assuming they're going to tie that into next week's episode of NXT, which leads to something else that is going to happen on the July 8th edition of NXT. So I'm thinking that whatever they taped that day is going to be next week. The next thing was from you, was exclusive news from you on a AAA star.
Right.
Not taking any bookings after August.
So, guys, listen, the Patreon seems to be a pretty good place. You would have gotten this stuff days ago if you were already a member, but we're trying our best to make it worth your while. But, yeah, I had an update on top AAA star, which you have seen him recently on the Worlds Collide event, but that is Psycho Clown. And sources close to Psycho Clown relayed to me that as of August 2025, he will no longer be taking independent bookings, which what does that mean? It's pretty obvious, right? So, people also told me that with him wrapping up his commitments on the Indies and not taking any more bookings past August, it's believed that he's signed a deal with WWE and that he will be reporting once his obligations have been fulfilled, which seems to be usually how things work when they sign it down
That's
off
100%.
the Indies. So when all these things have been reported to me that he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing that, and everybody thinks that, let's just say he's probably signed, and he will be once he's done wrapping up his Indie stuff, you'll see him on the main roster, or at least
I'm
NXT.
pretty sure. With what WrestleVote said last week on the show too, is that WWE wanted him because he's very marketable. I'm pretty sure he's signing a dual contract with AAA and WWE, so that way he'll be able to do both of them. I can see him as a mainstay on WWE television, but at the same time, I think they might want to keep him as one of the top guys in AAA, having him over there predominantly, like you said. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that, but he's very good. The character work is very good,
and it's like I was talking last week. Merchandising, they see dollars in merchandising with him, as with Mr. Iguana. So I mean, it's no surprise that they're going to want to exclusively lock that down so that they can get as much money out of it as possible.
Yeah, that was a nice one that you dropped, and then Mark had an exclusive on some AEW championships that have been on the shelf for a year, but they've been ready to roll out whenever AEW is going to roll them out, if they do roll them out.
Well, no, if you paid attention to recently, Christian made the comment that him and Nick Wayne will be the first father and son tag team champions, correct?
He did.
Which leads to Mark's news that there have been on the shelf for a year. AEW has custom father and son tag team titles.
Well, not called them technically. Called father.
They have been branded the intergenerational tag team titles, which will be these father and son tag team titles that they have alluded to. So those have been on the shelf for a year, apparently, and it's why there's been a few father and son pairings that they've kind of teased and lined up to go along with this to kind of play into it, but. Mark's report went along as to pointing out that the plans called for future father and son duos to get involved, such as Ricky Morton and his son, Kerry Morton, a Von Erich father and son pairing, which would be Kerry and one of the sons. And he said that there was even a Jurassic Express reunion in talks because apparently the prehistoric lineage counts for something there. Hey, I'm all about it because Marco Stunt's my homie. He's a big fan of. I'm a big fan of him. He's a big friend of the program.
I don't think he would be involved though. I think it would be
Jungle Boy.
I think it would be the guy that they don't call Jungle Boy right now. But yeah,
he's a Jungle Man. That's why.
Whatever they call him.
Jack Perry.
Yeah, whatever they call him now.
And the other one.
He hasn't been seen on TV in quite some time, so.
Yeah, and then the other one, Kill Switch or Luchasaurus, whatever you want to call him.
They call him Kill Switch. He disappeared.
Marco showed up not too long ago, a while back, maybe a little bit. So hey, he can maybe come back. Who knows? I'll ask him, but I doubt he'll give me any fucking thing. But hey, we can hope, right? A man can fucking hope. But yeah, that's not the only one. That
we had a joint report from.
Wait. Wasn't there also in that report something else too?
Oh yeah, the women's tag team titles being on the shelf for a year. They're ready to go whenever AEW decides to roll them out.
Yeah.
I saw aggregators talking about there's plans to roll them out. There have not been immediate plans to roll them out, but there is a possibility that they will roll them out. They are ready. They've been ready for quite some time.
What's funny is I'm looking at the report on our Patreon. I don't see that in there anymore. Does somebody remove that?
No, it's the second to final paragraph.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. So let me read it quote for quote. Women's tag team titles were made at the same time that they made these father and son intergenerational tag team titles. So those belts were made, and they've just been sitting around too, is what he said. But yeah, there was no mention of plans yet for that. But you kind of feel like that's eventually going to be a thing or needs to be a thing. It's just shocking to me that it's taken that long, honestly.
Yeah. And the next one that we had was a joint report from the guys within Body Slam, the PWN insiders that are in Body Slam now. Max J.
You mean the Body Slam insiders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we're all one now, yes.
It's a branding thing, Cory. We've talked about your branding issues and how you don't quite get it. Mr. I don't know how to underscore.
I underscore is just weird without
anyway.
But the report came from Max J, Cody Rhodes, and myself about WWE Raw superstar having an undisclosed injury that would require them to be out. And the angle was for Chad Gable. Chad Gable got written off of TV Monday night when Penta gave him the sacrifice backstage. And then Tuesday, a report came out that
wait, it came out. Was it Tuesday or was it yesterday?
There was the first one came out Tuesday. The actual update, the one that cost some win, was yesterday. The first one came out was that it was their report was yesterday. The PW Insider report was yesterday.
Our report was what day? Fucking 2 days. Tuesday? 2 days ago? Yeah.
Tuesday morning.
Yeah, we report this Tuesday morning about Chad Gable, and then if you would join our Patreon, you would hear that Tuesday instead of joining the other paywall service, PW Insiders, fucking elite service, which reported the same exact fucking thing yesterday, stole our report, didn't credit us. Imagine that. It's what they do to you, Cory. It's what they've done to me for fucking years. And if you call them out on it, they'll block you on fucking Twitter too. Don't even get me started on the fact that one time I was a member of their elite service because, as a journalist, you want to cover news and know what other journalists want to say. And they found out I was a member and fucking banned my IP address from entering their website, did not cancel my fucking PW Insider Elite service, kept charging me money for over a year until I caught on, even though I couldn't go to their goddamn service because they fucking banned me. Then when I called them out on wanting my money back for a year, they fucking blocked me on everything. But they'll still steal my news. They'll still steal our news.
Yeah, they're probably an alias or something on our Patreon somehow, some way.
I'm sure it's okay for them to have it. I didn't even use a fucking alias. I had my real goddamn name because who gives a fuck, right? Yeah. So, I forgot. So then they found mine, blocked it. So then I was like, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just buy it under my mom's name because I used her. So I was like, hey, Mom, let me borrow your shit. I'm going to get this service so I can actually fucking keep reporting their news. Because, hey, you know what? In my mind, you kind of want people to cover your fucking news and credit it and cite it properly, which I fucking do. But no, they were like, no, don't cover our fucking news. That's not for reporting. It's like, well, what the fuck are you doing with it then, you stupid motherfucker? Well, anyway, it doesn't so then sense. They found out that my mom's account was still me, banned my IP completely. See, at first they just canceled my account, and then I had to redo it. Found out that I was doing it again and using somebody else's account, banned my IP, but left the account running. So, yeah, fuck them, dude. Anyway, Cory, carry on. That was my rant for a little bit.
So the next thing after that was I found out some plans that have been altered due to Liv Morgan's injury. Liv Morgan's injury caused a lot of things to be rewritten for the next few months creatively. Multiple superstars have been affected by this, both on Raw and SmackDown, unfortunately. Unfortunate timing for her injury as we were heading into the summer. She was scheduled to face Io Sky for the Women's World Championship at Night of Champions. That match was replaced with Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley in a street fight now. That is the match that's happening at Night of Champions. And then she was scheduled to be in a feud with Nikki Bella leading up to Evolution next month. Potentially be in a tag team match if WWE and Brie could come to terms. But it was more looking like it was going to be Nikki versus Liv in a singles feud. That also is out the door now, obviously. And then some problems within the Judgment Day were going to continue, which was ultimately going to lead to Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez. But now, of course, with the unfortunate injury to Liv Morgan and her having to have shoulder surgery, those plans are out the window.
So that was a good one. What else? Is that the last? I think it was
I found out before they started the double taping on Tuesday for NXT that Joe Hendry was in the building and scheduled to appear. Say his name and he appears. It's true. Trick Williams said his name and he appeared on NXT TV. And that led to another, I'm going to go and do that. That led to another report that I dropped yesterday. Was my latest.
Where did you drop that report, by the way?
On our Patreon, that is scrolling at the bottom right there.
At the bottom of the screen. Okay, yeah. So if you're a member of the Patreon, you can get these reports, without having to wait for them to eventually come out on our website, right?
Yeah, the multiple TNA stars are set to appear on NXT TV leading up to Slammiversary. That's Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. They have some stuff going on that's going to lead up to Slammiversary, where they'll be having a championship match, which has not been announced on TNA television yet, that Mike Santana is officially going to challenge for the TNA World Championship. But in the next few weeks, you'll see, because he's actively involved in this story, that he's going to be added to the match with Joe Hendry and Trick Williams. So keep your eye on that. They are scheduled. No, I know the one that I skipped about the producers. I skipped the producer one. Yeah, because these two tied into each other, I went into it. Gotcha. But yeah, Trick Williams is going to be putting the title on the line pretty much against Joe Hendry and Mike Santana at Slammiversary is what the direction looks right there. In the meantime, Joe Hendry has a match next week on NXT against Wesley. High Rise, which is Wesley's little group that he has with Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe.
I don't like the way you said that.
What?
His little group he has.
Yeah.
Condescending asshole.
Because it's not a faction.
You condescending asshole.
It's not a faction.
Don't belittle him.
Him.
Them.
Everybody. It's a small group.
Why you got to belittle them?
It's a tag team in Wesley.
Just because the group's small doesn't mean you have to belittle them. Why are you hating on Wesley, man? He ain't old.
I'm not talking about Wesley.
Well, don't hate on people, man. Don't
belittle people. That wasn't a pun about Wesley. He's bigger than me.
But why'd you say it like that?
That was not a pun. Because it's not I don't consider them a faction. I consider them a little group. It's 3 people. I don't consider them a faction. Although
were the Freebirds a faction?
I guess.
Then what the fuck are you saying?
I guess because the Freebird rule. I guess you could say they were a faction.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, but fuck.
Yeah.
No.
Look at you.
Let me go back into what I was talking about.
Talk yourself into being an asshole. Look at you.
I'm going back into what I was saying.
Carry on.
That group is going to get involved in the match. Mike Santana is going to come out for the save and help Joe Hendry, which is going to lead to a tag team match on the July 8th edition of NXT between the High Rise and Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. Okay. So they're going to be on NXT TV leading up to Slammiversary for TNA. And then another thing that I had dropped yesterday was the producers list for the June 24th edition of NXT also.
Nice. So, yeah, if you can check out that list if you're a Patreon member. And you can get all this stuff early, man. So you don't have to wait for us to run it down or wait a couple of days or a day for it to finally make it to the internet. Or for everybody to pick it up and aggregate it improperly like they did with Mark's report. You could read it, yourself and decide maybe if you know how to read words.
And maybe you can aggregate.
Yeah, maybe you can read it correctly and understand it properly because other fucking people can't. And then you're the one that's reading their versions of improper fucking media literacy. So you either do it yourself or you just hope that the fucking best that they goddamn understand it, which you can't always fucking count on that.